Alrighty, y'all, welcome back to the channel, Quiz Trades. I'm going to do a quick trade recap from today. Even though I actually did not catch this trade, I just literally didn't get filled in by like 1 point. Going into market open, I kind of just had the intuition that because we have FOMC tomorrow, we were going to have kind of a bearish day. We had this 1 hour SMT with ES right here. So the 5 o'clock candle was lower than the 6 o'clock candle. In our NQ, the 6 o'clock candle ended up taking out the 5 o'clock candle in this 1 hour bearish gap. I wanted 5:30 news to close through these bearish or these bullish order blocks to give us a change in state. If that had happened before New York open, I would have had a lot more conviction for these shorts. But going into market open, we were just chopping. We've had this SMT already, and we had this change in state, this this down move, sorry, before this up move to put in the SMT. So the first 6, or I actually think, yeah. So this first 5 o'clock candle, sorry, 5-minute candle, gave us that change in state, and on the 1 minute after we got the change in state, we had this push back up, and I marked out fib, and I had my limit orders at equilibrium of this level in this 1 minute bearish gap. We literally 1 point away from getting filled, 1.5 points away from getting filled. I was targeting lower lows, like I had TP1 at Asia low, and then I wanted us to come into New York PM low because it was aligned with equilibrium as well of just this small Monday to Tuesday high range. But we didn't end up getting filled, and we didn't end up hitting final TP, so I'm not really like tripping about that trade. It was also like what, 60 point trade, which I don't really care. I kind of just wanted to do a quick trade recap about that because I saw a lot of traders get absolutely shit on today. Trying to take longs from here, you gotta understand that just because we have a model, like just because we're in a 1 hour bullish gap and we swept Asia low, doesn't mean it's gonna play out the same day if it's not the correct day for that model to take place. But the reason I'm actually making this video is because I want to go over the QMT3 model, so the most current up-to-date model. Let's do regular NQ. The most current and up-to-date version of my model. This whole month has been pretty slow for me. We're already halfway through, which is kind of crazy to me. I don't know where time is going, but this month so far, the model has only played itself in once, and I think I'm just gonna go over that. So let's just go to this week. So I'm honestly, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna on recording just backtest every month. Not even backtest every month, just show you where the model takes place every single month. So week 1 of September, we have say we're bullish, right? We have our draw right here, previous month high. We're going into a new month. The month before swept the month high, right? August swept July high, so unless we get a change in state to the downside, our month is functioned to go for previous month high, which is right here. We then have this order block, this weekly order block, and then we can mark out that high to this low, equilibrium, and any other level. So from August low to August high, we pull into 0.236, and looking back at it, I now understand why it didn't play out, because if we were to come down and take out this week low, well, technically, that's not true. Anyways, well, we came down, we swept previous week low or previous week low, like that. Okay, so this is a weekly model and a monthly model, right? Because that's the only way, like the way I'm trading now, where I want to swing trade, not really day trade as much, not trade like morning sessions or anything like that. I want to just hold the position for a couple weeks, take profits. Simple as that. I've also been seeing a lot of like traders shit on top and bottom ticking. I think the reason they do that is because they don't understand it, and I don't even like. I wouldn't even say this model is meant to top and bottom tick. It's just meant to catch the higher time frame move, which is the weekly and monthly moves. Just because one, you're risking less if there's less frequency of trades. The win rate is 100%. I haven't seen this model fail when you actually let it play out completely. And you'll see as I backtest throughout this video that the model will continuously play out when you apply it properly. Right? If you're misapplying it, if you're not applying it correctly, then it's not going to play out, and that's not a model issue, that's a you issue. So we're bullish on the month. So we're starting on the month. We're not expecting a previous month low sweep because we want us to take out the high. So we come down, sweep these 2 week lows. Okay, then we go to the daily. Because to me, we had a change in state. Right, we had a daily change in state because we closed through this down move before this up move to take out this high right here. So we needed a change in state back to the upside. That's what us taking out Thursday high became. So we came down, swept previous week low, previous week low, 0.236. Now the model has played itself on the actually, let me find a change in state really quick. Realistically, what I'd want is a 4-hour change in state. So once we close through this up move, we get our 4-hour change in state, meaning we're now bullish on the dailies. Then from the dailies, it would go on to the weekly and on to the monthly. As you can see, this change in state on Thursday on the daily, then influenced the weekly because we swept week high after sweeping week low, meaning this is our model low, and now price has been functioned to go for week highs. Now what we need is the model to fractalize itself on the daily, which we did not get on NQ. We got it on ES. And as unfortunate as that is, something that's just gonna happen. And it's actually the reason I didn't catch this trade. Right? I didn't catch this whole week expansion, past 2 week expansion trade because we didn't get this on NQ. Or if I go to ES, what do you see? You see Friday swept Thursday low. You see Friday fulfilled equilibrium. You see that Friday, because this is a down move before this up move now, we pulled into this bullish order block. And you can see that Friday, is there a change in state anywhere? There's no like high time frame change in state, but you get it right here. Alright, so before the final liquidity sweep, we get this change in state by closing through. So you can see that ES perfectly played out the model, and on NQ, it didn't, which is just unfortunate. But basically what this most up-to-date model, like what QMT model 3 is currently, is you guys saw the way I was trading in June, which was more just like the way I was trading in June would have done really well throughout this whole week, right? So the way I was trading in June was more like 1 hour, 4-hour liquidity sweeps, and then 1 hour, 15-minute change in states. That would have done really well here, right? Because in June we were just cycling to all-time highs, and that's basically what we're doing here. July, I started trading more of daily functions, right? Waiting for daily liquidity sweep and then letting it run to just previous day high. Well, I wouldn't even say that for the entirety of July. It was more like July was a transition. August, the first $1,000 trade recap was trading that daily function, right? So that's basically what's happening here, or at least on this SMT, right? Because if we came down, we would have SMT'd, or we would have swept this Thursday low, which would have been our previous day low sweep in equilibrium in a bullish PDRA. So first happens on the weekly. The weekly then gives us our change in state, saying, okay, that's how you know this weekly low is the model, because we come down, we sweep this. So that's why I didn't rush to, like, I saw this hour change in state once we closed through these two moves, and I knew we were bullish now. But I didn't chase I wasn't rushing to enter this. One, because I knew the draw was all the way up here. We weren't going to enter a new model until we took our all-time highs. Two, I knew we'd need it to happen on the daily before we rip to our modeled true draw and liquidity, right? Unfortunately, it happened in a way of like an SMT. I had orders set here at equilibrium, and I had orders set here at Thursday low. So I'd get filled in at equilibrium just in case we SMT'd, but at least we fulfilled equilibrium. And I had orders here set at Thursday low because that's just a necessity in this model. What I didn't expect was we were just going to hold this change in state level and these order blocks, and from here we were going to come higher up, which is why I was waiting Friday. And when we didn't get that, I thought, okay, maybe it'll happen on Monday. Maybe Monday will give us our previous day low sweep, fulfill all these, and then from Monday we'd climb higher. But the point is, for the entirety of September, this is the only entry, right? Well, imagine I knew what happened on ES. This would have been right. That's why I need 3 monitors and a hella nice setup, but that'll come in the future. But this is the only entry, right? Here you could enter, but because we had this daily change in state, I wasn't confident here, which is fine, because once we swept week high, it said, okay, now the week is going back to targeting highs. So this is going to be a draw for the next week. This is going to be a draw for the next week. We just need the model to take place on the daily, which it did in the same first week. Then from there, you got it, right? So from here, which let's just say did properly fulfill, from here to here would have been the entry, right? 650 points, not bad. I mean, if you got it from all the way here, 1,000 points, even better. But when you want to trade it, and this is what I mean when I say that the model won't not succeed. Here the risk is you don't know if the month wants to come for monthly lows, which is why I didn't take it straight off this liquidity sweep, because I thought if we could sweep 1 week low, another week low, what's stopping us from sweeping this week low, right? So technically this is a month low, so we could have came down here, because when you pull out equilibrium even lower, you see, wow, this is perfectly aligned with equilibrium. Wouldn't that be so nice for us to just come down here, sweep these lows in equilibrium of this entire range, and from there we rip. But when you let the model play out, you say, okay, we missed this. Thursday could have easily came down, swept Wednesday low, and then ripped. That would have been my entry, because that would have been like, okay, Wednesday didn't take out the model low, meaning it's setting its highs and lows for a reason, meaning we're going to enter, when we enter an accumulation phase, we're going to enter a new manipulation distribution phase. So if we're manipulating the low before the high, after this, put in this model, then we're distributing the other way, the opposite of where we're manipulating. If we're manipulating the low first, we're distributing towards highs. So that takes place, right? We get it on the daily, we get the SMT in equilibrium, we get the model perfectly taking place on ES. So from here would have been the entry. Friday would have entered, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, next Friday, chilling. Where's price at right now? And I mean, you could have let it run for, I would have, because now we'd be entering a new phase of price. But it's just crazy how much Monday ripped, how Tuesday ended up playing out. Like, you can see how this whole move was purely because of this weekly model and then this daily model. So that's the first model of September so far. It's September 16th, and in my eyes, there's only been one model, which is crazy, right? The frequency is so low. The risk of all you can lose is one trade compared to people who can, like, you're not blowing your account if this trade doesn't play out. If you enter on, like, let's say Friday did actually come down and it was an SMT and we came down here and you entered after like a 5 minute change in state, which is probably like 30 points higher, and then Monday dumped, your one trade, that's it, right? Like, that's the only trade, and it didn't play out because we swept previous week high, and we're in this inverse gap, and we're actually bearish high time frame. Now you just wait, right? Because you can't force the model once it happened. So now what you'd wait is for, okay, Monday dumps, right? And this is just hypothetical. Monday dumps, Tuesday's a little bullish, Wednesday sweeps Tuesday high in a bearish gap that Monday left, and that's your second trade. And by then, if it's not bullish up here, then it's gonna be bearish, and that model is gonna be what causes market to dump lower. So the frequency of the model is way less, which is why the videos, the trade recaps that are coming out are, at like once a week, once every 2, maybe even 3 weeks. The frequency is less, but you're covering the same distance. You're catching the same amount as if you're trading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're catching every rebalance move amongst these days, you'll still be getting less, right? Because hold on. Yo, what's good? I bet I'll text bro. Let me just text him. He'll let me know. Alright, so the frequency is much less. Even if you do catch every rebalance move in these days, which again, it's not hard to see, right? Right here, we're sweeping these lows, or well, yeah, we SMT'd on Tuesday. We're in this bullish gap. You catch that to previous day high. 1. Same here, Wednesday, we get this dump. We sweep session lows. We're probably in like a 4-hour bullish gap. Yeah, so we have this 4-hour bullish gap, this 4-hour order block, and then you long to previous day high, or you long for like Thursday, and you can catch 200 points here, 150 points here. Even if you catch Monday move, which would just be like after getting a change in state or something, or like here, get this 1-hour liquidity sweep in this hour bullish gap. You let it run to a previous day high or previous week high, you get 250 points. Like, there's 100 points every move you're missing out on. There's more you're risking because you're taking 5 trades compared to just taking this one trade. You're getting a better position, but if you miss it, now you also miss all of this. That's the issue. It's like it's a win-win, but at the same time, there's a it's a win-win, but at the same time, if you miss your trade like I did, then you kind of just have to sit here and watch such easy trades play out that you just can't partake in because of the discipline of only trading the model. Which is psychologically it's a little harder because you just sit here and you still wake up every session and you just watch it play out, which when you should be down here. But yeah, that's the only model that, like, for the QMT3, that's the only so far model that's played out on in this month. Going into last month, it played out 3 times. Starting here, we had going into August. So we're in our last week. We mark out high to low. Just be over here. So we have these order blocks. And again, this is, because I'm going reverse order, it's kind of like the opposite, but this would have been an ERL to IRL model. So now you know you're looking for IRL to ERL, meaning our draw is back up here. So we came down, filled 0.236 again. We swept this previous week low. And we're in this bullish order block. So now what are we waiting for? Okay, this week did what it needed to do. It swept previous week low. Swept a previous week low. We swept some daily lows. How do we know we're getting our model, right? So this happens on the weekly, right? Sweeping weekly lows. Where is it? Monday. So this is previous week low. So we came down, swept previous week low. That's the first necessity, right? Previous week low, weekly order block, weekly range, equilibrium at least fulfilled. Get this daily liquidity sweep. Now we let the next day play out. Doesn't really do much. We don't get a change in state, right? Because the 4-hour order block is up here. So we don't get a change in state on the 4-hour, meaning the daily doesn't get a change in state, meaning the week doesn't get a change in state. So there's no change in state yet. What happens here? Right? Here what happens is we sweep previous day low. So now the model has gone from happening on the weekly, right? A week low getting sweep, previous week low getting sweep, to previous day low getting swept. This up move, this up close candle before the week low or the day low sweep gets closed through, meaning we also get our 4-hour change in state. What are the phases of price? Right, the real phases of price. Model day, right, on the weekly. Rebalance, or you can even say it as like let's cut out this model week, right? Model day, change in state, rebalance, then distribution. So model day happens right here. Change in state. This, you can see this bottom wick is our rebalance. All right, this is our rebalance. So we're in a bullish PD area. We pull back into this change in state level on the 1-hour, so forth, so forth. And then what happens from there? We distribute OD, right? One part I actually forgot to mention is from this entire range. We're in .236 again. Alright, so we're below equilibrium. That's really all that matters. As long as equilibrium is getting fulfilled, it doesn't matter from 0.382, 0.236, whatever it is. So the previous day low sweep is happening in or beneath equilibrium. Then we get our change in state the same day because we sweep Thursday high, Wednesday high. So now we know, okay, we're now targeting highs again. This was a trade that I was in. This was like one of the trades that built me a lot of conviction because from there price just continued to play out. You could even say that this was our rebalance day because we had or at least for this week, this was our model day because we had our previous day low sweep on Tuesday, right? So Monday got swept, Monday low got swept, and in this range we fulfilled equilibrium. Right from there, here we were just a tick away, but from this range we fulfilled equilibrium. And then because this week gave us our change in state by taking out day highs, you shouldn't that just means that this week is gonna go for previous week high. So even if you miss this beautiful model, you get it here because we still get a previous day low sweep in a level of equilibrium in a bullish PD array, right? Because we're in this 4-hour bullish gap. And then even from here, you could take just these longs, which is what? 280 points, not as bad, right? From here, you get, what you could do to secure profits, or what I should have done to secure profits, was take TP at once I saw us come lower and then take out Friday high again. Then it would have been like, okay, add 4 more contracts if you want. Add 3 times the amount of contracts here because you have a lot more conviction. Your fill would be somewhere here, which is kind of what happened to me. And once we took out previous week high, I know that, okay, now there's no guarantee, right? Because I had profits at all-time highs. But here there's a guarantee that the model has secured itself. There's a guarantee that we're not going to come lower. We hit a fat SMT with all-time highs on ES, and then we put in our model for September, right? We just turtle soup that SMT down here, and then this trade that I originally had to take all-time highs basically just got put here. I just didn't think it was going to happen like that, but it did. So for August, that's one trade so far, one model trade so far, and you can see that from here to here would be like the trade, right? 535 points, because you enter off this liquidity sweep, previous day low sweep. Let's say you don't even have, actually realistically, I just want to see where standard deviation ends up at. I guess it was just greed. Oh, come on. I should have seen that, actually. Now that I'm looking at this, holy shit. We perfectly pulled into all levels of standard deviation. Yeah, so this played out perfectly. I had it at all-time highs when standard deviation is literally showing 4th level projection right here. It is what it is. This is why you look back at things. This is why, even now, I just realized that. This is why it's good to constantly go over trades. This is why I internally go over my trades constantly. Every single day, I'm just like, damn, this week did this trade, this week this trade, because you learn every single time, right? When you have a very, very strict and specific model, then these little things really build up. So you can see you need this previous day low sweep, 4-hour change in state, pull out standard deviation, and look how price perfectly pulled into it. Generally to the dot, right, to the tick. So that was this week for August, right? Last week August played out perfectly. This week August, let's get into it. Ready to close. So we're here. We sweep previous week high. We're at all-time highs. And again, yeah, I'm tired, bro. Fucking tired. So we get that previous week high sweep, and the reason it's we've been constantly sweep. Oh, I guess we haven't constantly been sweep. We had this model at the beginning of August. Then we had technically our change in state. Now what this dump was realistically was a weekly rebalance, which is why it did make sense for it to go to all-time highs again, but it's fine that it didn't. It's also why I don't like trading ERL to IRL as much. This is an ERL to IRL model. So once we closed through this 4-hour gap, which we got on Friday, right? So we have previous week high sweep. We then have this 4-hour change in state, meaning the dailies. I mean, you can see that Thursday swept Wednesday low, didn't sweep the high. Friday swept Thursday low, didn't sweep the high. So going into the next week, you could say, okay, we've had our change in state to the downside. Once we got this close on Friday, we had our change in state to the downside. So on that alone, hold on, I'm pretty sure there's no. So there's no, not even once. Let me see something quick. And there we go. Now it makes sense. This SMT right here. Oh yeah, I already saw this though. So this SMT at the top of this ERL tower. Yeah, I remember this. Because I took longs off of here and ES took out Wednesday high, which was my profits for this long, while NQ did not. And it just barely one tick away from filling me in. Right, because we closed to this change in state level on the 1 hour. And then from this I had my thing like it's just one color. I had it at a different level, low key. It was like during, I think it was like during New York Open. It's like once we came back from here. Might have been this candle. One of these candles I had my thing at. I think it was this, and I had my fill there and market like one ticked away. I don't remember, low key. But even here, once we put in this SMT, I don't know, this ERL to model is not as clean because there's no previous day high sweep. Like, if once we got this change in state, right, I mean, the SMT is kind of what gives it away. That Wednesday put in the model, and then we got our previous week high sweep this week, and then we got our previous day high sweep. But if Thursday took out Wednesday and then closed through like a 4 hour, like here, for example, this down move before the up move, right, that swept previous day high. We already swept previous week high, so it's like, okay, we sweep a previous week low. We're trading ERL to IRL, so we don't have a confluence of like a fair value gap or an order block, but the confluence is just switching market maker models, right? Going into a new phase of price. So we have this weekly sweep, right? We sweep our previous week highs, monthly sweep, yada yada yada, and then we have this daily sweep. And once we close to this 4 hour gap, we have our change in state to the downside on the 4 hour, meaning, okay, now we know days are going to function and target lows instead of highs. So once we get that, realistically, it would be about this Friday 11 o'clock candle that closes through. We're now looking for rebounds. Let this play out a little more. Shit, too much. So you'd realistically just mark out, where's the high to a low? Yeah, this high and this low. So you just really don't get filled in. So this might have just been, I mean, this was a trade that I missed out on. Purely because of there was just no good retracement, no good rebounds after we put in the model up here. Mostly because when you're going from ERL to IRL, like, I wouldn't say the moves are a lot quicker, but it's just, it's not as clean because we're trading opposite of the higher time frame bias. So if our higher time frame bias is bullish, we're trading away from that. So market, like, you can see how choppy we are on the downside. But once you get the change in state, once you get the change in state, yeah, you do get it on NQ. So you kind of have to like just watch both, right? You get the SMT, you get half the model on NQ, half the model on fucking ES. Shit ass price action, bro. Put in this SMT. Fuck this 1 hour change in state. We get this 4 hour change in state. Then we're like, okay, when do we actually rebalance equilibrium? You could realistically say that this gave us our change in state because on the 1 hour, when you go to it, you can see how it did, right? So this 1 hour gave us our change in state. Now we're in a rebalance phase, which is what this is, or even if you don't want to, include that because that was our previous day high sweep, this London move fulfilled equilibrium and gave us our rebalance phase, and then from there we distributed. So that was the second model, and again, from there you catch 800, 700 ticks, and then the main model of the month, which is kind of like this low-key how this month is going as well. It looks like the main model is the first couple weeks. So going into the first day, so on the week, right, we swept previous week high, then we come down, we sweep multiple previous week lows. We're in this bullish order block. We sweep a previous week low, got that liquidity. And if you mark out a level of equilibrium, see, when I was trading this day, I didn't enter off this Friday move because equilibrium was right here. I bet on ES. Let's see if we fulfilled equilibrium for. No, well, neither on the. Hello, on neither of them did we fill equilibrium for the entire range, which is fine, right? Because you have like. So we fill 0.236. We don't even close underneath it. We actually close perfectly aligned with it. So you get that weekly low swept, you get the order block, you get a level, because this is a daily low, so you get 0.236. Now, okay, you have it done on the weekly. Now we're waiting for a change in state. How do we get that? Monday swept Friday high, meaning now the days are functioned to go for highs, not lows. Why is that important? Why is that important? Because that means now that the week, right? Because we just swept week lows, so it might be, how do you know we're not going to continue to target week lows going next week? A change in state. That starts on the daily, right? First it starts on the 4 hour, then daily, like it goes up. Same way as it would be going down. So now we get our change in state. What's the next phase of price? Our rebalance phase. So we get this rebalance. Now what do we need? We still haven't had, as you can see, we still haven't had a previous day low sweep. We haven't had any type of daily, like we haven't had the QMT model happen on the daily. So we again mark out equilibrium. Okay, Tuesday has fulfilled equilibrium. We are in this bullish gap. And here again, this is low-key another model because we swept Monday high, so we had a previous day high sweep, and we closed through this down move before the up move. So this is realistically a short model. We're in this bearish gap. And this is what I mean when I say like the model just does not fail. Model just does not fail. You could have taken shorts, and I actually did take shorts. If you watch any of my trade recaps, I took shorts off of this. And then what happens next? Wednesday opens. sweeps previous day low in this bullish gap in equilibrium. Now all we're waiting for is a change in state. Is this the yeah. Enter off this. This would be the ideal entry. I literally remember trading this so vividly because this was like the first time it kind of clicked to me. Right, realistically, the best entry would be right when we swept Tuesday low. Right when you swept this low, you could have entered longs and then just adjusted your stop. I mean, you get 40 points of drawdown, which is just this chop part. You don't want to do that. You just wait for the change in state and you enter off that. I actually remember this so vividly, it's crazy. We inversed this and I was like, okay. I didn't really fully understand why we were so, why we were ripping completely. But you can just see how price continued to do this. And then this is where this is where my entry actually was, right? Because now we had put that there, like London high, Asia low. I had my fill at 0.32. We had this bullish gap. So I entered around here. This is when I got filled in. And then we get this distribution. And this would have been, if I had already done this before, I would have just held it for the rest of the week, right? Because I know that my draw on liquidity, my target for this weekly model is up there. And then price would have kept climbing. And now profits are minting. I took profits at Tuesday high. Cut myself short about almost 500 ticks, which is fine. 2,000 points. Damn, that would have been a lot of bread. That would have been a 3K day instead of a 1K day. Probably even more, because yeah, actual entry was from like here, 720. That'd have been like damn near a 5K day. That's fine though. You live and you learn. But you can see how the model is just fractalized. Like, there's no coincidence. There's always a previous day low sweep, or at least I'm not gonna say always, because there's SMT this week, or last week, last week, which damn, was it really 3 weeks ago now? Yeah, last week, which threw me off. But technically, that's still the model on ES. So there's always the model fractalized, right? Happened on the weekly, happened on the daily, then we distribute. We don't distribute to our final modeled TP without that happening once. We can continue. We can go into July now. All right, so that was August. So you can see there's 3 models for August, which all delivered 5 to 1,000 points. Starting in July. See, I didn't trade this model in July like that, so I actually have to find it now. I'm seeing it right here. So we're bullish, our TPs are here. I'm seeing this as our model low because we have that weekly low. Let me just make sure it's actually in July though. Damn, that's actually unfortunate that right before July we do that. Damn it, we just chop up. Holy shit, price action was fucking cooked. This was July. This might have been the only entry. Oh, damn, that was still 1,000 points. Alright, well, let's see if there's any. Let's see if there's any SMTs on the week lows. Here. This is about it. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, there's only one. It only happened once on the week. 200 points. Oh, wait, 200 points on ES is a lot, though. So, Monday, July. Okay. Monday, July 14th. See, but with this, you'd have to just go with so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Monday opens, we SMT on the weekly, and we sweep previous day low. So we kind of put 2 in 1, which is fine, which is allowed. And I mean, even if we didn't, right? The next week gives us that. It's just kind of like harder to find right now because we just swept all-time highs, so price is just not moving the best. But we come down SMT on the weekly, so we have our previous week low sweep from this high to this low, pulling to equilibrium, and we have this order block. We even have this order block. Hold on. I'm just gonna put it out like this. So it happens on the day, or it happens on the weekly. We then take out these daily highs and get our change in state. So this weekly SMT, equilibrium fulfilled, get rid of that. Equilibrium fulfilled, bullish order block. Then we get our change in state. It's July 9th, so it's that one. Okay, wait. Monday trades down, Tuesday trades down, Wednesday takes that out, Thursday, Friday trades down. So this entire week was fucking chop. Okay, so this week was just a consolidation week, which is kind of how I expect one of the weeks to happen soon. Like, I really expect, probably not this week because we have FOMC, but what I would love is like if this current week gives us our change or like some type of model, and then we consolidate next week, and then going into the next month, October, which is crazy to even say that we're almost going into October, we get a seasonal low. Like, we really get a nice dump. And the model, and it doesn't even have to be like it could happen on the, like what I'm thinking that's going to happen is this week is going to come down, give us a bearish PD array, right, on the daily at least, like between Wednesday and Thursday. And then next week is kind of just chop around in like a decent range, maybe around an equilibrium or something. And then the week going into October, because October's on like the first day is on like a Wednesday, so even that Monday, Tuesday doesn't have to do much. Then going into that week, we can sweep our previous week high going into October, fulfilling equilibrium in that bearish period that we left, and then we flip and we come lower. And then all of October can be bearish, taking out all of this liquidity we have, right? All of this liquidity. October can come sweep all of that. And then finally we can fulfill this weekly gap, this change in state level, equilibrium, and then going into November, December, we sweep October low, like November sweeps October low, or at least a week in October, sweeps one of the lows, sweeps one on the daily, and then we climb up back for November, December, January, February, and then from there we'll just see how price plays out. But you can see that it takes place here. This gives us our change in state on Tuesday because we sweep previous week highs. So I mean, see, the thing is, like, our draw is previous week highs. When we're trading all-time highs, there's not much other than standard deviation that you'd use. So Wednesday comes down, sweeps previous day low now. We fulfill equilibrium once again. Pull into this order block. Fill this order block. We're in 0.382, like damn near. And then we get an internal change in state somewhere here. Probably just go to the 15. Damn, this was just a fucking devious work. Holy shit. But hello. Yeah, once we close to this move. Damn. Once we close to this move, right here, this Wednesday, then we look for rebounds. And you can basically just take the longs from here. This is what it would look like. And you just let it run type shit for the rest of the fucking month. But like, you can only do this, or I can only do this now after like gaining conviction, after seeing this happen multiple times. I wouldn't be able to do this back then, because like what? Once the weekly showed me that, okay, we're gonna target this week, then I know that eventually, if this is a model load, eventually this week will get taken out. So even if Thursday, Friday doesn't do shit, go sideways, and I know it's gonna happen the next week. But we wouldn't not do nothing after. I'm tripping, bro. There's this nice change in state right here on the 4 hour. Once this candle closes through, you're chilling. Once this 11 o'clock candle closes through, you're chilling. Then it's guaranteed that this is our model low, because we got our change in state. We had it on the weekly SMT'd. This was in equilibrium. We have our like everything played out again. So like I said, first on the weekly, then on the daily. That was July, and you generally let it run for the whole time. This is another entry you could get. This is just eyeballing, right? Because it's already happened on the weekly, you kind of just keep looking for it on the daily. Say this low. Sweep period, stay low. Bullish gap, equilibrium, period stay low, swept. And held that there, that's nice. Don't like me, don't like me, don't like me, like me, don't like me. I mean, even here you can see how we sweep Tuesday low in this daily bullish gap. You can see right here. This daily bullish gap, sweep period, stay low. In these order blocks as well, probably fulfill the level of equilibrium. Yep, like it's so repetitive. It's kind of like, damn. Other than this month so far, it's happened once, literally once. But I'm getting fucking tired. Being a bug makes you tired because you be eating it so much, bro. Your body spends a lot of time just processing food. It's like, fuck. Leave me alone. Anyways. That's honestly, this was like the main model. Shit. Like in July, when does July start here? So literally the first week of July. This part you get it, right? Why does it feel like July was so short? but you get it off of this first 2 week, and then you can just let it run. June. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so this is June. Like, this is the only entry. Only one model in the entire month. Oh no. You can see that like doesn't even matter, because before that you move. Okay, you do move 1,000 points, but once we put in for real, move more. Let's go down to the daily. See how many daily models there are. Friday, it's May. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Yeah, literally we're stuck in consolidation. We're stuck in this order block. So you can see how, like, I don't know what trades you'd see here. I mean, I guess you can see them. But, like, price just... I don't know. In my eyes, June just wasn't clean. This was the majority of June. This was the majority of June. Alright, majority of June was like this. From June 3rd to 20 days of kind of just barcode ass price action. And yes, of course there was trades. Like, there was just dumps, there's pumps, there's dumps, and there's pumps. But when you look at it like efficiency, this is TP. Go to the weekly. This week we get a previous week low sweep. Boom. We have this. I'm not going to include wicks because I don't usually include wicks, which is fine. This week we get, literally going into the Monday, we get that previous week low sweep. And we pull out equilibrium. Finally we pull into equilibrium, right? That's why we're just chopping, because we don't actually pull into any level of equilibrium before that. Do we have any bullish PD arrays? These down moves. And then let's look for a change in state. You don't really get no... You only get no high because of this fat fucking opening gap. You don't really get no, like, clean change in state. There you just rip. So it's kind of like, bro, if you miss your chance, then it's kind of OD. But that's why here I was thinking this is kind of the like, why going right into July, you get this previous day low sweep. It's our first previous day low sweep after this weekly sweep. So this could also be like your entry. Then you do good for July. So you get a lot going into, a lot compressed in 2 weeks. Don't get much in this week. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's easier to, like, let's say right now, right, like, though I'm saying the frequency is low, it's the same here, right? There's only been one trade this month, and nothing for the next 2-3 weeks. But then going into, you know, we could get a trade in the next coming week, and then a trade that same next week, and then a rebounds, and then another trade for the rest of August, November, December. Like, the frequencies vary, but it's always tied with the moves. So if there's going to be moves in the market, it's going to be based off the model. So if just the market itself has a low frequency of moves, then so the model. What I mean by that is, yes, you can trade, like, if you know you're bearish, you can trade this right here, this previous, maybe I'm actually just looking at it wrong, maybe we're just bearish, that's why. Like us sweeping this week high, then we come lower to target week low. So like this could have been a model if you're bearish, which I mean realistically that's actually what that is, yeah. Sweep previous week high. Disrespect the 5 bits of ass and the chase one. But do we have any like PD? Oh yeah, we do. This up moves, we have this whole order block. That's why we're pretty choppy. So now, see, even now when I look at it, now it makes sense. Now you actually can catch, before this, you get this liquidity sweep Wednesday, right? Here, where's the beginning of this month? Monday, nothing. Or I mean, realistically, like this is the model for this move, this bullish move. Because we sweep a previous day high, we're in this order block, we're probably in equilibrium. So you can see more moves like move to move than like day to day or some shit, or like week to week. It's more configured, or more like function based on moves, which is why, bro, that's why I held this August, like the end of August trade, because I really thought that move would have to, I mean it did, y'all saw that it fulfilled the 4th level of equilibrium, so it did, but it was just timed really nice. On the left side. So here, we put in this model, sweep previous day lows, in this bearish, or in this bullish order block. Then from here, take longs. So you get 800 points from that, right? Seeing that. This was a rebalance from more longs, right? Once we pull it, when we sweep previous day low again, you get another 400 something points, and then from there we sweep previous week high, right? Nothing, and we get this change in state. Let me not just say things, let me actually make sure. So we sweep previous week high, we sweep previous day high, Wednesday going into this down move. For that liquidity sweep, we close through pretty simply, pretty easily. Close through that. So we get our change in state, days are now targeting lows instead of highs, and this is our rebalance. And you can see, pull into equilibrium, pull into this order block, because there's a liquidity sweep right here, so you pull into this order block as well. And then just look at how we distribute. Look at how we distribute. And we continue to distribute until we put in a new model. Model fulfilled perfectly. To 4th level standard deviation. Now we're done with that. So you see, just even myself, I thought, damn, there's only one model in June. No, bro, there's 3 fucking models. 1, 2, 3. It's like every month there's 3 models. So Why are we only in one model this month? I don't know, bro. Maybe we get 2 models going into next month. Fucking tired. So you get a model on the 6th. Alright, if we don't want to include this model, that's fine. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're bullish now. We set previous week high, set a previous week low. Then you get Friday, puts in the model, put longs down here. Monday, Tuesday, sweep previous week high, take profits. So from here to here, 400 points. Tuesday, Wednesday, we sweep that. We get that change in state as well. Thursday, Friday, we get that rebalance, right? Because here we sweep a high, not a low. Whoa. How interesting. The whole phone went rainbow. Pause. So we get, okay, Wednesday's the model day. So we sweep that. We close underneath this candle, right? That's usually a good indication that it's like a reversal candle. You have a huge wick to one side and we're closing within the body, which is like low-key what we're having on Tuesday, which is why I'm bearish. Then we get change in state, rebalance, model again, and we can target Friday low. See how perfect that is? We target previous week low, right? Because we know that the dailies have now been functioned to target lows. We're targeting previous week lows, sweep that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then another model. So that's the entirety of June. 3 models in June. 1 model in July. Could get another model there. About 2 models in July. 3rd model here. Once you already know, like, the week is just going to keep targeting highs, every basically daily liquidity sweep is like your model. Alright. If it actually fulfills the required necessities. Equilibrium, bullish PD array. Hello. So yeah, that is, and it's not like you don't need a lot of confluences as much as you need to understand the functioning of price and how weeks and stuff are structured. It's not like this model has 15 confluences, an inverse gap, a this, a that, a rejection block, a wick, theory, a this, like, I don't even know that many confluences, I can't lie. What you need to understand is the algorithm and the functioning of price, and what you need is market experience, real-time market experience and backtesting market experience, not one or the other, not either or, but both, right? Because the only way you can see it happen multiple times is by backtesting, and the only way you can deal with it in the moment is real-time trading, right? If you backtest them when it happens IRL, you won't be able to see it, and then you can look back next week or the week before and be like, oh, that's why even now I don't have the most like real-time experience. August is the only month where I actually seen it happen, and that was still me having to deal with like mostly the psychological part about dealing with the model real time. This month I pretty much understood it. I just kind of got fucked over on Friday. That's about it. Otherwise, I would have just caught this whole damn move after Friday. All these points I would have caught. It doesn't even necessarily need to be from here, because you can lack conviction from here, which I did because of that change in state. But once we get a refunctioning of price, then from there shouldn't be a lack of conviction. The only thing is the model taking place or not? So yeah, now we can go back one more month, go into May. Let me just see how long this video has been. Hour and 9 minutes. Oh, y'all about to get sauce. Oh shit, thing. Damn, so low-key this entire move has just been from that one. And it's gonna be like that. So this, okay, this is a good example of how you can see how it happens on the weekly, then the daily, how it happens on the monthly, and then the weekly. So this is a model taking place on the monthly, sweeping lots of previous month lows, filling 0.382 bullish PD array. So it's like, all right, we did that. Now where do we see that on the weekly? Right here. Because we sweep previous month, previous week low. This month. And when you know, like, this is how, again, you won't even have to trade all of this. You won't even have to trade the rest of June and stuff when you just catch it down here. Hold on, I just want to see how many fucking ticks this is. Hold on. I need to make sure that that's buying the replay mode and not. Bro, I swear I've done that before though. Just log out right quick. Nobody's gonna be fucking an hour or something into my video, bro. It's fine. Damn, why is it like that? This shit got me thinking it's like legit. Okay, so $85. They got replay mode looking legit as fuck now. What? Okay, well that would have been my entry. They got this shit looking legit as fuck. So we get this. Okay, this happens on the monthly, right? Going into April. Boom, we have this dump. Happens on the monthly. Now you get, I mean, you get it on the daily first, right? So it happens on the monthly / weekly. Then what do you see here? Pure stay low sweep. Fuck this. Fuck this. Fuck all that. So we fulfill this. Let's just say we fulfill this on the weekly because we sweep previous week low. We fulfill that. Now we look for it to happen on the monthly, right? So we come down, sweep previous week low, boom. Now we're like, all right, didn't get a change in state. We got the model. We probably got a type of change in state. Not really, because it was an opening gap. We kind of close through it. So let's say we get our change in state because we do close through it up here. What is this candle? 7 o'clock candle makes sense. So we close through this eventually. So we get our change in state on the 1 hour. Now we're waiting for a rebalance, right? What do we get at the same time as the rebalance? Previous day low sweep. One hour change in state once again. Then you could mark out your levels. You have bullish gaps. And this could have been like your fill. You could be like, all right, bye. This is realistically how the thought process would go. This is how you catch like the most accurate type of trade. Because what you see is we get that previous week low sweep, we fill 0.32, bullish PD ray. We get a 1 hour change in state. Right? This happens on Monday. This happens on Monday. These two candles are fucking crazy. 6 and 7 o'clock candles. God damn. $1,600 in between 2 hours is insane. There's so much volume back here. And then, okay, we get our change state. Now we're getting our rebounds, and we get modeled again. We get filled. And because this is a higher time frame trade, 9,000. Jesus Christ. Oh my fuck. I'm just trying to get it to actually like. There we go. God, doing it, okay. So it's like you don't even gotta trade all the other months, right? You could just let, okay, boom. Here, this would be another entry. Right, this was the entry I was talking about, right? This is your second entry because we get another previous week low sweep. Can you fuck off? You get another previous week low sweep going into that Monday. Then that Tuesday gives us our daily change in state because we sweep the high. And then you get this previous day low sweep again. Thursday onto Wednesday. And you just... all of May you're ripping. June. There you go. That's fucking crazy. That's how I'm trying to. I mean, it was this April, May that like opened my eyes to a new way of trading. Because I saw this dump and I saw us react off it, and I was like, there has to be something like 5 minute, 15-minute models is not what's gonna like. This is why I don't understand, or like, this is the longevity to me, right? This is swing trading more compared to the trend of trading New York AM and 5-minute breaker structure, inverse fair value gap, things like that. No shade to nobody. That's all. You need to learn that. But when you allow yourself to look into it deeper, look into a higher time frame, and adapt, then you can catch moves like this, and you can see, okay, got a weekly sweep, weekly change and stay, weekly sweep, weekly change and stay, daily sweep, daily change and stay. When do you do the entering off the daily liquidity sweeps? After we get this weekly liquidity sweep, then this daily liquidity sweep. This is your main entry, right? This is the only necessary entry for all of April, for all of summer. This is all you have to enter for all of summer. And you get 6,000 points. Then even all this shit I was talking about earlier. Oh, the 3 trades in June, 3 trades in... Fuck that. 1 trade for 6 months. You feel me? So, like, this has just been, like, honestly, you could just keep letting this run. This has been the only trade that's been, like, and that's for the whole latter half of the year. Because it's the only monthly trade. Like, August is another 1,000 points higher than this. Another 4,000 ticks higher. September, even higher. Look where price is at right now. Because we did it once and then you let it run for 6 months. Same here. This was only, like, again, August gave us all that. This is all you had to trade back to all-time highs for the next 4 or 5 months. So I feel like that's what we're going to get downwards for the latter half of the year, and then going into next year. Back to the upside. Like, yeah, you might not be able to make as much because you're not, like, the frequency is not as high, but just leverage it higher. If you can, like, for traders who can take this with 10 minis, who trade every day with 10 minis, imagine catching one of these with 50 minis. Holy shit, you're making fucking millions. But, yeah, you don't need to trade, like, 1 trade for the entire 6 months of the year and you're done. Right? You get the weekly entry here, and then, even then, you can just trade daily functions. Like, that's the whole point of this model, is once you build it up, it's easy to fractalize it back down. This is the entry. You could catch just this move, 1,000 points. This is an entry. Again, as long as equilibrium is fulfilled and there's a type of PD array, which there is. I bet if I go on the 4 hour, there's a PD array right here, so it's not like I'm just saying that. But again, as long as equilibrium is fulfilled, this is another trade. Take it to whatever high you want, let it keep running. This was a trade. This is May. This is a trade. Alright, this was a trade. So April, May, there's a good amount. Beginning of this year, the main part is, like, if you wait for it to happen on the weekly, then you just pick apart every time it happens on the daily. It's just more efficient like that. So here you get it on the weekly, sweeping previous week high. Now you just look for it every time it happens on the daily. Right? Here we sweep previous week high. We're in a bearish PD array. So right here, this is one entry in March. This is the main entry in March. It's probably an SMT here, but literally price opens and there's an entry. First trading day of March is a nice entry for you to catch. Sweeping previous day high. You already know that we're bearish because of whatever weekly function was up here, monthly function. And then boom, catch that. Then there's a lot of previous day high sweeps, and then you can take it to the low. Here, realistically, you can take that to your own low. Here you can actually run this on the bullish side, but why would you trade against a higher time frame? What you should wait is for this. All right, let me see. This probably was the weekly. Yeah. So you got that previous week high sweep. And if you're really worried about the money, like, oh, I'm only trading 3 times a month. How am I gonna make that much? If you're trading 5 times less than you would, and if you really like, I mean, of course you care about the money. Who doesn't, right? But when you're really caring about the money, then it's like this: what you can do, five times your leverage. What's the difference? 3 trades with 10 minis, or 15 trades with like 2 minis. The same shit. Well, I mean, not exactly, but you get my point. So here we sweep previous week high, Monday, Tuesday. Now we're just waiting. Oh, wait, does this Monday? Oh, yeah. So this is the model right here. So we sweep previous week high, and then Wednesday comes in and sweeps this daily high as well. Right? Yeah, we sweep that. Okay, so I mean, you don't even have to go to the 4 hour. Fuck that. You can just go to the 1 hour once we close through that after that liquidity sweep, which is right here. Because when you're trading with the higher time frame, which we are because we're in this weekly bearish gap, we swept a weekly high. So here's your entry for that. So enter here, targeting these weak lows. So basically what I'm trying to say, in March, there's one trade here, right? You let this run, let's just say till here, for like this what, Monday? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's say you want to close there, or let's say you let it keep running because you just see draws lower. Like here. You think, oh, we're gonna come down till here. And realistically, you can just enter here and let it run the whole way. 2,000 points, which is what? From the 3rd. Damn, it's an entire month. Basically, you can just take one trade the entire month and catch all of it. Or you can go boom, 1,800, boom, 1,500, or just again one move. You just go like that. Entire month you make 82K. You take one trade. Take one trade. If you really want. How much was that? Oh, it doesn't show. let's just do that one more time. Just so like you realize that you can make all whatever fucking dreams you have, whatever fucking visions you see, whatever all this shit you want to achieve. You can easily do that shit, bro. Easily. Alright, so you go boom. Go boom, 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 boom. You're like, alright. And you see it happen again, and you see a model play out again. And you go, alright, hey, wait, bet. I can go in again. 134K in a month with one fucking trade. Boom. Month over. You took 2 trades in the entire month and just made 100 fucking K. That's actually the dream. Oh my god, that's actually the dream. Like imagine you get to skip out on this entire, bro, from 14 days, 2 weeks of straight bullshit price action. You just don't have to worry about, because you're already up 5 figures, multiple 5 figures. Come on, bro. And this shit's not like luck, or it's not like doesn't still fucking happen. It just fucking happened this month. It just fucking happened. It just delivered 1,000 points. It just delivered 30-40K. Fucking caught it. I've seen 2 traders on TikTok catch this move. I never think nobody else knows how to catch, or, you know, trade like swing trades it on the weekly and shit like that. I generally saw 2 traders catch it. Only 2 traders I've seen trade like that for. I don't remember their TikToks, I can't lie, but that shit was crazy. I was like, damn, there's other motherfuckers out there as well. Again, right here is where you could have caught even more, right? Even more of a move. Why? Let me explain why. Let me see if there's an SMT real quick. No, okay. So, come up here, sweep previous week low, previous week high in February. You're like, alright, that's cool. We sweep previous week high, then we come here, sweep previous day high. That's Friday. So, that was basically about March, right? 2 real entries. Only 2 fucking entries you need, mind you. The main one, and then this one right here, right? This entry and this entry. 2 main entries. That's March. February. First we trade bullish. So January comes down. Sweep a previous week low. Fulfill a level of equilibrium, like, I don't know, right here. Perfect. So you sweep a previous week low. So February opens, instantly dumps. Sweep this previous day. We've already had a previous week low. Like, the reason you keep the functions together is because we swept this previous week low, and the goal of this model hasn't taken place until we take out this high. Okay, so we came down, swept previous week low, then got this previous day low sweep, get an internal change in state somewhere. This is your entry for February, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, another entry, Monday swept previous week low. You just got an entry, you really don't have to worry about this, or you just keep holding this entry, and boom, we take out the highs that we wanted, these two equal highs, that's our draw. Now going into this week, so that's one, right? That's one, about 2 weeks of trading. You get that, 1,000 points. And then we sweep previous week high. Sweep previous week high. Now we're looking for a previous day high sweep. Where do we get that? This Friday, we sweep previous day high. So we get our previous week high, sweep here. Friday. Tuesday opens, takes that out. Wednesday doesn't do anything. Thursday gives us a change in state because we sweep lows, not highs. Then Friday comes up, sweeps that high. This down move for the up move to get that previous day high sweep is our change in state. Once we close through that, we're now bearish. And shit, you can just enter off that. I'm just trying to see if there's a higher one, like on the 15 or something. Yeah. So once we close through that, generally can just take your shorts off that. Friday. So remember, you caught the longs from here, right here. This is one move. This is another move. 1, 2. And then you just keep letting it run. Thursday, Friday. Then again, that was the model. Targeting all these lows. Or I think you're not even targeting these lows. I think you're just trying to like these lows. Come a lot lower, but that's February. About 2-3 models again. And I'm kind of just going quicker through it, just basically trading off of liquidity sweeps. You don't need like the PRAs and equilibrium will always just fulfill themselves for the most part. We can keep going back and just we can just find on the weekly now at this point. Like, let's find some moves. This week we're sweeping this weekly low. We're in this bullish PDRA. Why do we rally from here? Probably because if we go like this, there will be a daily low swept that causes us to move. Where do you see that? Oh, there's probably an SMT. Oh, why not? Maybe not. We just keep ripping. There we go. You get one here. What the fuck is that talking about? You get one here. And you rip. Get it again. Like, this was crazy. Whatever happened, I hope some shit like this happens again. Or we get a little dumb and then we rip higher. Cause we've been hella bearish, bro, hella bullish. I'm fucking tired. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Honestly, I low-key got some video as well. I think I'm gonna just wrap up the video there. I'm gonna make this a part 1. I didn't actually go that into. I mean, I don't know how much more in depth is there to go, right? You just continuously fractalize the model. You align the weekly, the daily. You can really just take 2-3 trades a month. You just swing it based off of week liquidity sweeps in which PDRAs in what equilibrium, then what is the day sweeping after that. That's it. You feel me? See this weekly high swept and this weekly high swept. Take shorts. You see, like this weekly high swept in this order block, this up move before this down move. You fulfill the type of equilibrium. Take more shorts. This weekly high swept in this weekly order or this weekly bearish gap. Take more shorts. You see this weekly liquidity sweep in this bullish gap in equilibrium, take longs. You see this weekly liquidity sweep in this, it's probably something on the daily, take longs. You see this weekly liquidity sweeps in this bullish gap, take longs. You see this weekly liquidity sweep after this weekly, like 2 after a time where they're going higher is an even better sign. Right, that's more of a confluence. You see this weekly liquidity sweep in this bearish weekly gap, take shorts. This weekly liquidity sweep in this weekly gap, take shorts. And then expect 2 to 3 weeks of just playing with that same model, just it playing out perfectly. Right, because realistically, right here was a perfect model. This low, 2,500 points. Here you get it as well. Like now we're back in 2021. Damn, we were hella bearish. Damn, 2022 we're bearish, bro. Imagine catching the move up here and just like you could just catch the highest tick and just go with like 10 minis. Or like once you get it here, what month is this? January? It's March. So you get a previous month. I mean, you also get longs from here, assuming these 2 weekly lows in this order block. You get this monthly liquidity sweep, and you could just ride it out. 4,000 ticks. 2023. Damn, we really got to bounce back from 2023 straight into the year. Get a little monthly, probably an SMT or something here. And then from there, just long right? Because this down move before this up move, sweeps liquidity, order block. From there, take longs. Here you get this previous week low sweep, boom, longs. Here, previous week low sweep, longs. Here, previous week low sweep, longs. I mean, it's probably even cleaner on the month. Yeah, like the more high time frame you go, the clearer and cleaner it looks. Right here you get that double month, 3 months actually liquidity sweep. There's just all these orders that get like so much liquidity that gets put into the market for sell side. You can catch that. I generally think the lower frequency, higher leverage is better when you know it's going to play out, because there's like no way, if it's making sense on the monthly, the weekly, it's not going to not play out. So like that's why I have all these different levels, right? Equilibrium for here, equilibrium for here, equilibrium for here, because any of these levels can cause models to move whichever way. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I know it was a lot. This was one of the backtesting type of videos I'd be talking about that like I just sit and backtest. You know, this model will probably continue to get adapted. I don't really see how much more it can, but that doesn't mean it won't. Hopefully a trade recap, 1 or 2 for the rest of the month, because I'm most definitely seeing some shorts come in. And then from there, you know, October is usually known to put a seasonal low in. So if we could get a bearish rest of September, bearish beginning of October, some type of weekly model, second or third week of October, and from there November, December, January back up here, because we still have this level of standard deviation to be fulfilled. So we are going to see how this plays out. I will probably still just do more videos about just trading stuff, just confluences. I'll try to do more like teaching stuff. And yeah, I could, probably fractalize, I don't know, kind of show the connection between, like, the thing is, like, even if I do, like, my old trade recaps are still up. Fractalizing previous day low sweep or 4 hour sweep, and then a 1 hour change of state, and a 15-minute like retracement. That's what June was. That's what July was. August was a lot less frequent, was because it was just trading previous day lows and stuff like that, previous day high trades like that. But I just think that this is the most efficient way to trade. And if money is the issue, which of course it is for everybody, or not everybody, but people who are trying to make it, then up the leverage. Have the conviction, up the leverage. Simple. Other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did make it to the end of this video, shouts out y'all. I doubt anybody did, but shit. It is what it is. Drop a comment if y'all have any questions. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.